So we're going to look at the formula for the volume and surface area of a sphere and then do a few examples. Now, if you're interested in learning how these formulas are derived, I would recommend just looking it up online, doing some research of your own. There's some really interesting math behind the formula for the volume and surface area of a sphere, but it's, again, maybe a little more in-depth than we're going to go into in this video. So let's give you the basics. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. And the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So the nice thing about spheres is that there's just one surface area, right? A sphere is one continuous surface, and so we don't have to worry about lateral surface area and total surface area. Let's look at this example. Find the surface area and the volume of a sphere with radius 3√2 centimeters. Okay, so we're given the radius, it's 3√2. And just to remind you of our formulas, volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. So let's go ahead and find the volume. Why not? 4/3 times pi times 3√2 cubed. Now remember, 3√2 cubed is 3√2 times 3√2 times 3√2. Another way to think of that is 3 cubed times the square root of 2 cubed. Okay, so that's 4/3 pi times 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, or 27. The square root of 2 cubed, I feel like maybe an aside would be helpful here. Let's see, sure. The square root of 2 cubed is the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2. And 2 times the square root of 2 is just 2 square root of 2. So then, the square root of 2 cubed is 2 root 2. Okay, let's cancel some things out. 4/3 times 27. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Okay, so then we have 4 times 9 is 36. Oops. I think I'd rather have it up here. So that's 36. 36 times 2 is 72. Square root, well, let's even call it 72. And then we have pi. That hasn't gone anywhere. And then we still have this square root of 2. So that's the volume of my sphere. Okay, and then the surface area, surface area is 4 pi r squared. So, well, that's pretty straightforward, right? 4 pi times 3√2 squared. And as we said, 3√2 squared, that's 3 squared times √2 squared. That's 4 pi times 3 squared, which is 9, times √2 squared, which is 4. Not 4. 2. And then 4 times 9 is 36. And 36 times 2 is 72. So that's 72 pi. And at least for this one, there's kind of that's an interesting relationship between the area and the volume. Oh, and I guess before I forget, since they did give us units, this is in centimeters. Let's make sure that we keep the surface area in centimeters squared and the volume in centimeters cubed. Okay, one more example. Plane passes 4 centimeters from the center of a sphere with radius 7 centimeters. Let's see if I can get a sphere up here. And when we say a plane, I'm not talking about an airplane, right? I'm talking about a geometric the geometric shape of a plane cutting through the center of a sphere. So if we have a plane that goes through a sphere, it cuts out a circle. This isn't necessarily easy to draw, but imagine that we had, I'm going to ask you to use your good old imagination with me. Imagine this is a plane. Do that. Yeah, that looks good. Right, and it goes around. It goes around. That's not going to look good. Okay. Let's just say, if we had this plane that was going around my sphere, if it cut straight through it, then what that would cut out would be a circular shape. Oops. It would be a circular shape or inside the sphere, kind of like, something like that, right? That you can see this plane is cutting out this circular shape from my sphere. I know it's not a perfect picture. It's not a perfect diagram, but I'm hoping that it gets something going in your brain. So let's make it a little bit simpler for us and just draw that circle. Okay, so we have this circle cut out from my sphere. And the problem tells us that it's 4 centimeters from the center. So 4, kind of like that, 4 centimeters from the center. And we know that the radius of this sphere is 7 centimeters. So here, this is 7. This is 4. And I'm asked to find the area of a circle. Now, hopefully, you see that we've got what looks like a right triangle in the center of the circle here, right? If I take the radius of this circle that's been cut out of the sphere, that creates a nice right triangle for me. So it's kind of annoying me that this 4 is pink. Sorry about that, if it's annoying you too. So there we go. Okay, so then if we want to find the area of the circle, we just need to find the radius. R squared plus 4 squared, that's equal to 7 squared. So then the nice thing is, remember, what's the area of a circle? What's the formula for area of a circle? It's pi r squared. So I don't even need to find r. I can just find r squared. So r squared plus 16, that equals 49. And if we subtract 16 from both sides, that cancels out, and I'm left with r squared being equal to 33. And again, that's what I want for my formula. So the area is 33 pi centimeters squared. If you take your time with these problems and think through what it's giving you, then I think that you can solve it, no sweat.